Hey, 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 what's up? I totally didn't forget to unmute this time. Yep. Yeah. You can hear me. And then before someone in chat just like, can't hear you, you're muted. I'm like, nope. Objection. So, welcome to the final episode where we finish Turnabout Serenade. Next week we can start on Turnabout Succession. And then when we finish Turnabout Succession, we finish Apollo's Justice, and then we can move on to Gate Zero. Yeah, I guess that's the big announcement. That's what we're doing afterwards. But also, all throughout March, I want to do like Saturday bonus. See, like not like just be like bonus stream maybe on the schedule. No, like literally have a plan for every like Saturday. I'm gonna try that in March. I'm gonna talk to mods about about their scheduling in March, so I can make a plan for that. But just it'll be great. Don't worry. So, got nothing else. And this Saturday I'm probably not gonna be streaming, but you can bet March 2nd might be something. That's the start of March. Hell yeah. Holy. So, let's just turn about some Serenade. July 10th, 1:40 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. Apollo! I can't believe it! It really happened during the second act? And right in the middle of Leonora's performance? The reason why she was in that air event. Nice to see you too, Random. The reason she was in that air event, and that switch, and the flaming guitar. When you think it all together, that's what you end up with. I knew you had it. I knew you had it. You had what it took. Hey, the man, the myth, the legend himself! Actually, he's just the man, the myth, and the myth. No, not the legend anymore. Apparently, he took away with all the stupid shit he's done in this game, the legend part has been taken away. He's just the man and the myth. No more the legend. Ah, Daddy! Mr. Right! You believed in me? Why else would he hire you, Apollo? Just think about that, Apollo. Why else would he hire you? Not really. Legend. Random, were you around for Turnabout Corner? Did you watch any of the Turnabout Corner stuff? Because that makes it's kind of less funny. Well, did you know that this man right here, one we're looking at, survived the motherfucking hit and run? With only a sprained ankle? Man, the good dude's got plot armor. Huh? I just thought that I'd make a cooler entrance than say, hiya. Excuse me. We really need to get this man back in court. But we won't do that until Dual Destiny, which won't be for a while because I do want to play Investigations 2 before we hop into Dual Destiny and Spirit of Justice. Why do I even bother hoping? Where have you been lately, Daddy? You haven't been coming to the office at all. Ah, sorry about that, Tracy. I'm on a secret mission. Secret? You mean like you're undercover? Like Mr. O'Chas, only shorter and not as well dressed. Oh no, what if you're shot too, Daddy? Would I do a thing like that to you? No, you would somehow fucking survive! Worse shot. Anyways, I'm off for a while again. Huh? You're leaving? Oh, one thing before I go. What? Good luck. Right. Is that all you came to say? I think he has things pretty much under control. He'll get much to buy us off the hook, no doubt. Yeah, but you're after that detective, aren't you? Darian Crescent. It won't be easy proving he did it. Especially not under the current court system. The current court system. What did prosecutor Gavin say during the trial? Your case is based off of one fragile assumption. Namely, that our diva divine is telling the truth. But what about all the proof? The brooch, the switch, a piece of jewelry, and a lyrical blunder. There are plenty of other ways to explain these things. The flaming guitar, too. All because you lack definitive proof of their connection to the case. But... So basically what Phoenix is saying is the only way we're going to be able to get... the only way we can get Darian accused is if we fucking break him and we fucking make him admit. So basically that's what we're saying. We have to break the man so he admits. But if the sultry songstress is lying, your case melts like butter in a frying pan, leaving behind the faintly signed consent to failure. Basically, so what do I do? Like I said, good luck. And be aware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods. Like I said, we gotta get him to admit to the murder. But he's not gonna do that, obviously. He's a man of his word. He's a man of the law. Why would he go commit murder or something? Alright. Here's the thing. We're definitely gonna need... I think I have an idea of what his motive was. But... so interesting. Oh, that reminds me. I have something to give to you. From our detective friend. Detective Sky? Emma? Let's see. This bag of snacks here was meant for me. Ah, here it is. Wait, why can't we have the snackaroos? Huh? I want the snackaroos! Ah, here it is. What are those, Daddy? They don't look like very good snacking material. They were found at the scene. Analysts of fragments revealed traces of gunpowder. Gunpowder? Probably a firecracker or something similar. Like the ones kids are into these days. These fragments were found under the sofa at the scene of the crime, actually. Under the sofa? Isn't that where we found the igniter? Well, she found the igniter? Or the switch, at least? Hey, Apollo! That's where we found that little devicey thingy. Right, this. I was on the right track! I said... Well, finally, some evidence that makes sense. That's all for me, I suppose. See you after the verdict. Maybe. Right. Every man has an igniter inside him. Excuse me? Find Darian's igniter and set it off. That's basically what I'm saying. If we want to go, what were the exact words? Why am I wanting to find the exact words? Like, it was, because I'm going back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. It was like something like Cosmo said. But why do I want to say the exact words? There was something about if you drive a man, if you go hard enough, you'll break some that. But that's We just need to, get a man to confess to a murder. Because it's the only way we're gonna find him guilty. And he walked out the door. Just like a magician. Normally. What does he want us to do? Isn't it obvious? We get a man to admit to his murder. No conventional methods. What does that mean? The magician is asking me. I guess we'll just have to take his advice. Hope it makes sense. And hope it makes sense when it comes. I guess. He has to take the advice. Find his igniter and ignite it. And hit the switch. We're almost at the finish line. Hang in there, Tracy. July 10th, 1:55 p.m. District Court. Courtroom number 3. Court is now back in session. Prosecutor Gavin, where is Detective Crescent? In the witness lounge, ready to be called at any time. Very well. Might I add, I don't believe any of this. Darian was the first detective I ever worked with. We stopped working together when he moved to the Criminal Affairs Division 3. His guitar playing it fires my imagination. That's nice, but it has nothing to do with the matter at hand. Correct? Oh, I know. Her forehead. Very well. Call the final witness to the stand. Detective Darian Crescent. Name and occupation, please. Darian Sissing, Detective, Criminal Affairs Division 3. That's the International Affairs Division, for those who didn't know. There's our motive. He would know about the Bulgarian smuggling. Cocoon snugging. And I'm a guitarist for the Gaviners. Maybe you've heard of us. Do you fully understand the circumstances which you stand before us today? Yeah, I understand, Your Honor. What I don't understand is how you let this happen, partner. You gave me your word, and I wouldn't be standing here. Situation changed, Darian. And don't call me partner. So much for old friends. I see what you're doing, Darian. You're pressing the prosecution. But that's my job. I'm kidding. No, my job is to press you. Your Honor, if we could begin the trial. Yes, it's high time we did. Let's hear for your testimony. You may begin with your response to Leomore's testimony. If in fact you have anything to say about it. Oh, I got plenty of things to say. Lying must be a national pastime in Bulgaria. And wherever you're from, Mr. Justice. Ha! Oh, we'll just let that one slide. Conventional methods are out the window, huh? Here goes nothing. I guess... Oh, shit, we don't know his tell, though. We never had to perceive him yet. Bet you it's gonna be something stupid. The diva's lying, plain and simple. She's got nothing to back up her story. In the first place, she's never heard my voice. She forgot the words because she heard a gunshot. It's as if. Didn't Detective Emma's guy hear those gunshots during the third set anyways? The shooting took place when I was on stage, man. They're claiming Leomore's testimony was a lie. Oh, so don't get me wrong. I dig what she's doing, trying to protect that kid. And she's got the court eating vague statements out of her hands just because she's blind. You got on too far, Darian. Look, all I'm saying is, you got a reliable witness. Why not listen to the detective? That might be the first and only time someone calls Emma reliable. I'm sorry, we love Emma. We stand Emma. Detective Sky. I see. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. You didn't find any time finding our weak spot. I can't do this with Leomore's testimony alone. I'll have to find some other way to prove that the shooting took place. Alright! Receiving out the window this time! You don't have any proof she was lying? Oh yeah, kid, you're saying I lied? No, I'm just saying, Apollo, glare back at him! I couldn't help it, I flinched by reflex. I mean, he does have a bit of a shark aesthetic. I mean, I would flinch too. Detective Crescent! Yeah, what do you want? Then nothing. Apollo, chin up, back straight. You're wilting. This guy is hard as nails. Walkie looked downright cooperative. Look, there's no way that diva remembers my voice. You never talked to her, even though you were playing in the same concert? Not a word, as far as I can recall. But weren't there planning sessions or something? Gavin took care of all that himself. Darian wasn't involved in any meetings with her. Ugh. If as you could just go around remembering everyone's voice like that anyway. Well, she's blind, so that means her hearing is probably very well heightened. Only an idiot would believe that. Landmore's hearing is very sensitive. You could remember him if you heard him. I'm sure of it. I just can't prove it. And I need proof. She forgot the words because she heard a gunshot? If. We know she missed the words. The mixing board proved it. Oh yeah? There was a mistake. Blaming it on a gunshot is just a lame excuse. What do you mean? The mixing board proves what? Proves that there was a mistake in the song? A miscue? Oh shit! So, she just flipped it up big time, that's all. That's the one who also missed the cue! Mr. Darian! She spins the story about a gunshot to protect the kid. Good cover for her own goof. Man, I'd hand it to her. She wasn't sticking it to me at the same time. Darian, watch what you say. Larimore is an artist. She just fluffed it up. That's no small accusation for a performer of her caliber. Heh, she got to you all right. I can see in your eyes. I tell you most of her stuff is so pretentious anyway. It's over my head. I'm detecting a rift in the Gaviner's ranks. Well, considering that one's about to go to prison in about 2 hours. Anyways, she's too close to the defendant. Her testimony can't be trusted. You ask me, I'd go with Detective Gaia's story as a drop of pig. Actually, I was there too. So I hear. Which means you heard them too, right? The gunshots. Yes. We heard gunshots. Neither I nor Emma actually saw the shooting from here. Heh. I guess you and Landmore got the same excuse then. We know one thing for certain here. There's gunshot-like sounds that emanated from the room during the third set. We must determine what those sounds were actually gunshots. Machi heard them too. Remember he said he ran for the air deck when he heard them. So how did we figure out just what those gunshots during the third set were? I've been meaning to examine these. So, you think this was some kind of firecracker? Yeah, one of those noisemakers like you shoot from off of New Year's. Do you know that in China they use firecrackers on New Year's to scare off evil? So it's kind of the same thing. Really? I had no idea! Well, did you know this? It takes more than 500 peanuts to make one 12-ounce jar of peanut butter. At least my useless fact had something to do with the evidence. cheater wanted us to think. I'll tell you what the shooter, that kid, wants you to think. He wants you to think that Diva heard me in that room. Ah! She's onto something. What if the gun was surrounded by well, then we'd be in a pretty. Then. I don't. Well, the gun wasn't surrounded by 500 peanuts. I'm back to Lamor's testimony. As much as I'm enjoying the Darien and Forehead show, there's no need for such tempers. Don't make us into some kind of comedy duo! That just means the Captain Darien show is cancelled. Neither of your claims can be proven. We could argue for days like this and get nowhere. Prosecutor Gavin is quite right. This court will hear no further discussion on this topic without new facts. New facts, huh? He's pretty eager to paint Leomar as a liar, isn't he? Yeah, because her testimony is basically our entire case. This is tough, so what do we do? I got a few ideas. Unfortunately, I can't perceive, so we can't see if any of the... I'll just need to find another way to prove that it didn't happen when he said it did. I don't know why. The rover belongs to the
Objection!
What? I accidentally clicked and I was right? I did not mean to click that, but I was right? Wouldn't be the first time I did that! Remember this detective assistant? The mixing board? What about it? It seems that there was a clear proof left. There was a clear proof left behind. I wanted to check it again, but I hit the wrong button. proof left behind. Right here in Leomore's song. Her song? What exactly is this device thingy? A new variant of gramophone, perhaps? Come on, we just used this. Don't get me started on it. And don't get me started on gramophone. This device is used to record the performance part by part. Remove the sliders to adjust the volume. Each instrument is adjustable separately, Leomore's voice included. Ho-ho! But what does this prove? According to Leomore's testimony, at the moment of the shooting, he forgot the words to the song. Ah, you intended to examine the record at that moment, yeah? We might even hear those gunshots. Exactly. Ha! Ridiculous. How are you supposed to hear gunshots back in that dressing room out on stage? Have you forgotten, Darian? You're all wearing these headsets. Oh. You're all deeply involved in our performance. Leomore's headset would have picked up what she had heard all the same. Now let's get to analyzing that record. Right now! Leomore stopped singing when she heard the shots fired. Find that spot, and I'll find the gunshots. At this point, we can... Your Honor, listen to this part. What's this? I hear nothing. How is this possible? Wait. Is the treasure hearing? I can hear just fine. Thank you very much. Ah! You heard me thinking. I saw that you were thinking. I saw what you were thinking on your face. Her judges hearing aside, I too heard nothing. Leading me to believe that there is nothing to be heard. Ugh! I guess that's the wrong spot. Penalty on behalf of all who are hearing impaired. You incinerate braggart, enjoy. Mr. Justice, once more if you would. Leomore stopped singing when she heard the gunshots fired. Find that spot and I'll find the gunshots. What's this? What? I hear the gunshots, and I present right when I hear them. Oh, I get it. Get what's going on. I'm just being a dumbass.
Take that!
Listen closely to this part. This is the track with Leah Moore's vocals. I did hear something faintly there. Yes. Why? It sounded like a gunshot. What? This has to be some kind of mistake! Well, it's been recorded. Or the sound was coming from over the headset along with her voice. Gavin, you're crazy, man. Crazy. An upstanding prosecutor like you would even listen to this weak evidence. Man, you can barely hear that. How do you know that it was a gun? Perhaps it's you who is hard of hearing, Darian. Sounds like a gunshot to me. Admit it, you lost, Detective Jason. Okay, so what about the gunshots Detective Sky heard? You heard them too, didn't you? Don't even think about telling me you were mistaken. Were you thinking of telling him that, Mr. Justice? No, not at all. No, Your Honor. Detective Sky and I clearly heard what sounded like gunshots. But they weren't. What? And I have evidence that proves it. Because we know how everybody in this court loves evidence. Then I think it would be best to show it to the court. Let's see this evidence. If you would, Mr. Justice. The evidence showing that we really heard is this. Thanks, Emma. Some things were found at the crime scene after yesterday's trial. What things? The first was this small device. That's the remote triggered igniter. Correct. And one more thing. What are those? Remains of something burnt? Not another guitar, I hope. Traces of gunpowder were found on these fragments. We have a report that there was something like a firecracker. Yeah? How did Kevin know about this? Apollo, remember what Phoenix said about them? They're a gift from Emma! You not think she would do her job? You dummy? What? You think Detective Sky works for you? I received the report this morning, before coming here. That's when I made the decision. My decision, actually. What decision is this, Prosecutor Gavin? I registered Darian as a witness in today's trial. Just in case. This is another possibility. Those gunshot-like sounds during the search set could have actually been two firecrackers rigged to go off by a remote control. You got an active imagination, don't you? But you shouldn't say every little thing you think. Your explanations there seems a bit too convenient to me. Hey, yours are too, you dumbass. How so? So, you're saying these firecrackers happened to go off. Right when you two witnesses came walking by. Ha! We were there for a bit. Emma McAdooed me like 3 times. That's right. Darian was out on stage when it happened to Polo. How would he know someone was backstage right then? If a little firecracker goes off in the forest and there's no one to hear it, you get my drift? Well, I guess it's a trouble, man. Pack! How do I explain this? You may not look it, but Darian is a gifted detective. Show any weakness, and he'll sure to find it. You may not look it, partner. Geez, thanks, man! That reminds me. I happened to pass through that very hallway several times that day myself, and I saw something odd there just before the third set. Something odd? A headset. The kind that the band and staff members were wearing. And now the one that Trixie's wearing. That's right. He picked this up in front of the door to that dressing room. What if the headset wasn't dropped, but placed? And what if it was turned on? You could hear what's going on in that hallway, even if you were out on stage. Whose side are you on, Gavin? Listen to me, Darian. There's no side in a court of law. Actually, there is a side, innocent and guilty. In any case, I believe a case has been made. Gunshots were heard during the second set, which means Leia Moore's testimony was true. Yeah! Wait, but... But with that, we still... Ooh. That doesn't still prove... No, it makes more sense that the murder took place during the second set, and then the firecrackers went off during the third set. Because when Emma and Apollo busted through the wall, there was nobody in there. They might have saw Machi, but Machi was already up in the air ducts, the air vent by then. She lurk. I should get an actual lurk command. I'll figure it out. It's the other man speaking, not Miss Littell. Well, what did he say? It's over. Press the switch. Now. Just after that, there was a gunshot. And then the guitar caught on fire. Detective Season, you weren't on stage during the second set. Ah! Yeah! Could you have done it? You could have done it. But why did we only hear one gunshot on the recording? Were 2 bullets fired from this weapon? Leia Moore was moving through the air vent, Your Honor. She must have not been close enough for each of her mic to catch the first shot. But then, as she passed over the dressing room, the gun fired again. Mr. Latasse's life was taken. But it's amazing how he didn't die so quickly that Apollo could hear his last words. That's amazing, right? Well, Detective Easton. Someone's sweating. Ah, once again, I'm reminded of something. Our performance that day. Your performance. Seeing this mixing board jogs my memory. You were there too, her forehead. What is it with today? Problem after problem. Action! My hog won't start. My guitar case is busted. My guitar has been burnt to a crisp. And to top it all off, someone's dead! And then there was that performance just now. What was that all about? This part is off. Which is that? Second guitar. Ha! It was you, Darian. I knew that Miss Q was gonna come back. There's no way we would dawdle on it for like 20 minutes. I thought it was strange at the time. How could you miss such a simple cue? I know you, and I know how you play. You're better than that. Yeah, well, You what? And Prosecutor Gavin, what are you getting at? I'm talking about the murder weapon, Mr. Latasse's .45 caliber hand cannon. As we have learned, even the shooter doesn't go unscathed with a revolver that size. The kickback is enough to dislocate your shoulder, if you're an amateur. Wait, you mean his playing was effective because he hurt himself during the shooting with that revolver? Ha! You're forgetting something! Yes, Detective Easton. I'm a trained police officer, you know. I had firearm training, plenty of it. I'm no amateur. Standard sidearm issue to police officer is a .38 caliber weapon. A much tamer beast, but also the murder weapon belonged to the victim, Mr. Latasse, which suggests there was a struggle between the killer and the victim. So the killer might not have been holding the revolver correctly when he fired it. Is that what you mean? The thought has occurred to me, yes. Well, does the witness have anything to say to this? Detective Season, what I want to ask is what sleeves rolled up already. That's for action has to say. Hey, you, attorney. And me? Exactly which piece of evidence is decisive again. You got a little noise on a tape that could be anything. And you have an alleged guitar you missed due to a 45 caliber kickback. I wept for this case. Gavin. I really do. You can line up your little weak pieces of evidence all you want. I didn't shoot that manager, and that's the obvious truth. The witness has a point. Connor, please. We know he did it. The defense arguments, while persuasive, are not decisive. But we have like 3 points. If they're weak separately, what about when they're together? I believe we should hear what the witness has to say in the response to this case so far. Your testimony, please, Detective Season. Tell us your reason why you couldn't have done it. Come on, why would I even want to kill that manager? You want a reason? Easy. I got no motive, man. Fuck you! Objection! You said it yourself. You're from the International Affairs Department. This was that diva's first trip to the country, right? How could I have possibly known her manager? If I didn't know him, why would I want to kill him? Objection, punch you. Yeah, basically. That's basically what I'm saying. That's basically what it is at this point. Objection, fuck you! And then Gav's like, objection, fuck you! And then they kiss. Wait, that went in the wrong direction. A simple reason indeed. Prosecutor Gavin, is it the case that Mr. Latas had not been to our country before? According to our records, yes, not even once. I see. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. Great, now I need to find a motive. You have the evidence in your hands, Polo. Okay, no perceiving yet. Man, I want to go for manager. Sure, but Mr. Latas was... Oh, right. Sorry, an Interpol agent, wasn't he? I just had trouble picturing that big lunk as an undercover copy, dig? And not a very good one, seeing as how he got wasted. Ha! Ha ha ha! A motive being the victim with will determination that you're getting a boot. Are you willing to gamble? I'm not here to gamble. I'm here to find the truth. I'm no gambler. I just work for a gambler. Ha! That's cold, dog. Not if it matters either way. See, I had no reason to kill the man, whatever he was. You want a reason? Easy. I got no motive, man. But that's the same for Machi. No motive was proven for him. Come on, he traveled around the world with that old fart. He has plenty of time to come up with a motive of his own. Ugh. More than I sure did. I mean, think about it. This is the diva's first trip to the country, right? Darian, you're a detective with international affairs. Yeah, what of it? Even if this was Mr. Latas' first trip to the country, you still could have met him prior to the concert. Huh? Or don't you take any international trips in the international affairs? That's right. Well, Detective Season? That's your game, is it? Guess I better confess then. Confess? Yeah, it's a bit of an embarrassment, but I've never been overseas. What? But you're in the international... See, me and the planes got a different doesn't have much. Hey. My condolences, her forehead, but he's telling the truth. He's never set foot outside the country. I can guarantee it. Then why is he in the International Affairs Department? As it turns out, my division has plenty of work to do locally as well. That's so unfair! How could I have possibly known her manager? So you didn't fraternize with him at all during the concert? Fraternize? Ha! I don't think we exchanged a single word. As if anyone would want to talk to that old Eastern buckhead. Now the ladies, that's a different matter altogether. Oh God! So you see, if I didn't know him, why would I want to kill him? You sure about that? What? Wipe that look off your face before I do it for you. Listen, you're trying to throw out one of your wild accusations. I'll throw it back at you harder. You forget who you're accusing. Who you're accusing of what? Her forehead. Perhaps it's best you to let evidence to talk to Jeff. Man, what evidence? That's what I want to know. If he's using this motive question as ammunition, huh? Well, I got an ammunition too. Evidence. Objection! Your Honor, take a look at this. What's that? Looks like candy. It's not. Don't lick it, please. Detective Season, ever seen this? Come on. That judge has seen Phoenix eat evidence. Oh, yes, it was that judge. Wait, no. Yes, it was that judge. I'm getting Turnabout Memories confused with Turnabout Beginnings. Whoops, my bad. Well, technically nobody seen Phoenix eat the evidence. He just admitted that he ate the evidence. Ever seen this? Looks like a piece of candy. What it is evidence. Don't lick it before you try it. Especially, this is a replica of a cocoon. It was found among the victim's belongings. A cocoon. Never seen one that color. Severity found only in the Republic of Bulgaria. Nowhere else. Alright. But what is this cocoon replica doing in my courtroom? Surely this has nothing to do with the motive for killing Mr. Lataus. Does it? It does. Wait. I mean, I think it does. You don't sound so confident, man. A cocoon. Is it one of those silky cocoons? The kind that you can make, well, silk out of? Not this one. This cocoon makes a powerful curative. A curative? For what? Apparently, it's the most effective for treating a disease that's so uncurable. It's the only medicine of its kind. However, it's illegal to take one of these healing cocoons out of Bulgaria. Whatever for. If it's such a miracle here, why not share it with the world? Yeah, that's what I've been wondering! We looked into the matter at some length. Apparently, it isn't difficult at all to manufacture the remedy from the cocoon. Yet, if you change the process only slightly, you can easily make a large quantity of something else entirely. A deadly poison, in fact. Oh, what? There's an incident several years ago where some of these got out into the black market. It caused quite the commotion in the global community. Though the media was kept largely unaware. Intriguing. All this has been led to a strict ban on cocoon export. Once radically enforced by Interpol, among others. Interpol. Right! The victim, Leonard Trust, was an Interpol agent. Detective Season, you insist on referring to him as a manager, but that's That is misleading. Ramon Taos wasn't killed as a manager. He was killed as an undercover agent. So I was trying to smuggle this gumball into the country? That's what you're trying to say? I'm saying that it could well be a murder, a motive for murder. Oh, so I was going to sell it in the black market, make myself a pretty penny? No. Ridiculous. I mean, totally unthinkable. Yeah, you're right. You're not going to sell it in the black market. You are a man of the law, after all. Unthinkable, you say? Why? Perhaps it's time for another testimony. Or is this where we bring up the chief judge? Hydrate? Okay. Got it. Thank you for the hydration. It's gonna have to tie back to the Chief Justice's son. About this smuggling of Cocoon's business. International Affairs got a memo about these Cocoons. Interpol's all hot and bothered about them. Can't sell them on the black market. Too dangerous. Yeah, Cocoon smuggling ain't exactly lucrative anymore. Man, I'm in international affairs. I know the deal. Indeed. Interpol wanted these Cocoons bad enough to send Mr. Lataus undercover. You could think you're up the craziest thing. But no way am I gonna risk life and limb. Just to get my hands on some dirty Cocoon money. Not the most notable of statements, but duly noted. According to reports, these Cocoons the top Interpol's list. Selling them to undercover organizations would be risky. Very well. You may begin the cross-examination. This is the only motive I got. Here's up to something, and I'm going to find out what. That memo. That's how you knew about the Cocoons. Oh, nice one, nice one. I'm running scared now. You had to know about the Cocoons to plan this. Just how well known are these Cocoons? I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I've never heard of them. Well, Layamore knew about them, though not their use. My reports indicate that there are an ongoing efforts to control information about the Cocoons. Most people only know they're illegal to export. That's all. Then, I have nothing to be embarrassed about after all. You could say people like me know about them are a minority, yeah. But that includes everyone in the international affairs, man. And everyone in Interpol, too. For that matter, too. Yeah. Interpol's all hot and bothered by them. So there are other Interpol agents like Mr. Lataus. All over the world, likely. Keep undercover, most of them. That's why those Cocoons are too hot for the black market. You don't want Interpol sniffing through your wares. Most came to the conclusion that you can't sell them on the black market. Too dangerous. Dangerous? Yeah, Interpol finds you, they arrest you on the spot. Or another marketeer might think you're a part of this thing and take you out himself. Times have changed. Yeah, Cocoon smuggling exactly looks lucrative anymore. But would scarcity drive up prices? Yeah, and attention. Every gangster and his brother would want a piece of that action. They'd turn your forehead into a Swiss cheese before you could say objection. Maybe we could get them to cut his hair too. Hey! You can make fun of his forehead all you want, but don't go after Apollo's hair! He's on trial here again? Man, you're so obvious know nothing about the market. And that's a bad thing? Don't even try to mess with me about this stuff. Man, I'm an international nurse. I know all this. I know the deal. Which is why you know to find the loophole in the system. Hey, you can say what you want about me, but back off the international affairs. There ain't no loopholes, okay? What do you think we are, Boy Scouts? That wasn't what I was trying to. Down, Darian. It's as you say. There are no loopholes, at least in the case of these international affairs. Interpol and Bulgarian customs are all watching. See, you know what we're doing. Not like some yipping little doggy would lap up every word that Diva said. Land! I don't want. You want some of this? I just kind of want to draw the Apollo and Darian just butting heads, and Gavin just being like, "Too good," just enjoying popcorn with Trucy, and the judge. Yes. Fight. Wait, no. I ship Apollo with Caver. Chill, both of you. Let's do this cool, cha. Grr, real cool. I want this guy set on a stick. The replica has to be the key to his motive. There's gotta be a way to find out what he was up to. I have an idea. Objection! Fuck! Hello, Sky. I had the right idea, just wrong statement. Alright, let's do this again! Objection! Fuck! Alright, my suspense is card concerned. Okay, yeah, so perceiving has question. Yeah, it'd be nice if I could read this. Okay, I got one more try. One more take with the news article. Ah! Fuck! I have a feeling it has something to do with this newspaper article. but maybe it's due.
Objection!
I was on the right track. I just kept pressing the wrong statement. Oh wait, sorry, Apollo. I didn't catch that. Objection! Why not choose a less dangerous fire then? I would. How close are you? Everyone in the market's dangerous. The second they find out I was a cop, I could kiss my key store goodbye. Why sell to a black market buyer? How about someone like this? That article. That's about the Chief Justice. A deadly poison that can be extracted from the cocoon, but can be a cure, and not a cure for just any disease. A cure from Icarus. Icarus. I've heard of that somewhere. That's the guy who went to go to the Chief Justice. You went to visit the victim of the disease this morning. Aha! Why? That's the disease the Chief Justice son has. You're not saying. Our witness is a detective. He would want to have contact with the Chief Justice. Are you saying the Chief Justice would never deal? The Chief Justice would never deal in contraband, not even to save his own son's life. But even if the deal went through, why did it be an Why it'd be an international scandal? That's Detective Season's insurance. If the word ever got out, the one would be the Chief Justice. Detective Season, is this true? First I'm a murderer, now I'm a smuggler? How many crimes are you trying to pin on me anyways? That's laughable as to think if the Chief Justice were the buyer. Why, a seller couldn't hope for a better deal. A very cowardly seller. Don't let sleaze over there trick you. So I made a deal with the Chief Justice. Where's your proof? Well. Oh yeah, and you're forgetting one other important thing. Do tell. Interpol isn't the only one was out watching this. Bulgarian Customs barely sleeps, so they're worried about the cocoons getting out. So we're informed. Let's continue with the cross-examination.
Hold it!
Just how strict is this customs check? Way strict. They keep playing on grounds for hours. I do recall being a bit extreme. They were even confiscating gumdrops and marshmallows. Yes, it would be hard to dispute things with them. That's right, Gavin was in Bulgaria, wasn't he? I remember setting off the metal detector several times. Now I wonder why, Gavin! I had to practically strip naked to walk through. Here's a travel tip for you, Gavin. Leave the bling at home, you glamorous flop. Cocoon possession will get you arrested on the spot and then sentenced to death. That's pretty extreme. The Bulgarian has the rep on it. Idiotically laid back. It sure says they are on hardcore with security. The Republic of Bulgaria is a peaceful, pleasant country. So this level of security, it shows us how they truly concerned about these cocoons. That's the situation. Hey man, if there's a way to get the cocoons out of there, I'd sure like to know.
Hold it!
You're in the position to know quite a bit about smuggling. Yeah? I need to know a bit for work, sure, but that's all we get reports of our failed smuggling ops. Not exactly something you want to go copying. But if you want, I can tell you a few of them. Maybe you'll succeed in getting to get rich. I would be interested in hearing. Purely for a legal perspective, of course. I work for our judicial system. Republica has to be the key to the moat now. There's gotta be a way to find out what he's up to. It's worth a shot.
Objection!
Actually, there is one What? One way to get something out of the country. No check. What is it? You become a prosecutor. A prosecutor? Ah! Ah! So he's the smuggler. I don't believe it. Believe it, Prosecutor Gavin. What was it that you told me yesterday at your office? It was a beautiful instrument. It was played lovingly for many years. A guitar befitting a woman like Limor. How did it end up here? I mentioned how much I enjoyed playing it that night, and she made it a present of it. So this guitar is from Bulgaria? That it is. We couldn't carry it on the plane. Change in air pressure and humidity would ruin the wood. So we vacuum packed it in Limor's storage studio. I used a special shipping service available to me for transporting evidence. They brought it right up to my office for me. Pristine and untouched. Did I get that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Untouched? Quite. The guitar was wrapped in several sheets and vacuum packed in Bulgaria. The pack was untouched until the day of the concert. Are you saying that the guitar was... With cocoons so small, it would have been very easy to use your guitar to steal the smuggled cocoon out of Bulgaria. What? Which reminds me, Prosecutor Gavin, that guitar had some work done to it recently, right? Work? Good memory, her forehead. Well, you know about guitar, how guitars have a hole in the front? It's called the sound hole. Well, they found something attached to wood just inside the hole. A broken device of some sort. A broken device? Yes, this in fact. An igniter. Exactly. Consider this if you will. What if the igniter wasn't the only thing that was attached inside your guitar? You mean this, of course. There was a way to get a cocoon out of the country. They could use the picky Prosecutor Gavin's privileged guitar as a mule. And who better to do that than someone with access? Like a member of the band. Yark! Well... Order! So the igniter was placed in there for a clear reason. It was a safety precaution. A precaution? Her forehead. At last, it all comes together. Every strange thing that happened that day. Care to review? Master, the gentle sounds of Lamor's Ballad, if you please. First, my keys were stolen. A harmless missing demon, which forced me to break the lock on my guitar case. The key was stolen to retrieve the cocoon from the guitar. I see. But things didn't go so well. The smuggler couldn't count on the guitar being wrapped. Only a member of the band could get near that case. Unwrapping the guitar would raise too many suspicions. Then the concert began. Right about this time, a very large problem presented itself to the smuggler. What's that? Mr. Lataus. Mr. Lataus, an undercover agent, was onto something. How could he have known about the guitar? Only he had to check. He only checked the shipping records. So, Mr. Lataus tried to examine the guitar himself. If only the cocoon was confiscated, then the gig would be up. The only thing left for the smuggler to do was to get rid of the whole lot. It's over. Press the switch. Now! The guitar burst into flame, and the cocoon was lost. And then, Mr. Lataus died, with Lamor there to witness it. There's your case. Brilliant, man. Detective Season. I gotta know, did you make all of that up on the fly? For a made-up story, it makes a great deal of sense, Darian. Well, I'm glad to know that Caliber thinks we are on good terms with this good sense again. Heh, the Republic of Bulgaria? Sorry, man, but I haven't even been there. True, you haven't. Ha! Let's see you make up a story for that, kid. How did I hide the cocoon in the first place, huh? It's not so hard to imagine. You had help. A Bulgarian accomplice. That's all. Machi knew. Machi helped him smuggle it. That you had an accomplice was clear from the start. The voice Leomar heard through said, "It's over. Press the switch. Now!" You made this transmission from backstage, while your co-conspirator was on stage. Wait, but who was it? This is it. The Koopa of the Great. Fuck does that? He absolutely... And... No. He would absolutely have a Sharpedo. A Sharpedo. He would absolutely have a Sharpedo and a Skunk Tank on his team. Obviously. Gosh. Koopa's the greatest, the final blow to kill a wounded person. And for once, I know what I'm doing. There's only one person who could have helped him. It's my client! Let's hear it, Mr. Justice has to say then. But be warned, with a great accusation comes great responsibility. Oh, am I gonna get double punished if I get this wrong? Make up your answer on the fly as it will, and you'll be harshly penalized. Are you ready, Mr. Justice? Who was the smuggler's accomplice? Machi. There can only be one person who meets all the requirements of the accomplice, and that person is the defendant, Machi Tabayak. But Mr. Justice, he's your client. A defense attorney accusing his client? That's a new one. Is it? Is it really? Did you not hear the story of Turnabout Goodbyes? I mean, Farewell My Turnabout? Turnabout Goodbyes is a different thing. It's the defendant committing murder. But have you ever heard of Farewell My Turnabout? This is for all finale. I assure you, no one is more unhappy about this than I. But I'm here to defend him in the murder of Mr. Latau. And I stand by my statement earlier that he's innocent of that particular crime. Indeed, the defendant is Bulgarian. He does meet the basic requirements to be the accomplice. But what if it was, in fact, Leomar? Could it have been? Well, you seem sure of yourself. The reason is electronic signals, Your Honor. Electronic signals. Recall to what this remote only works in a range of 30 feet. Beyond that, it's useless. Yes, true. Now, think back to the testimony. When the shooter made the transmitting, Leomar was in the air vent, right above the dressing room where the shooter stood. Let's look at the stage diagram. This is the area the remote could have reached from the air vent. Well, looking at this, it seems that Leomar could still have done the deed. No. When the shooter made that transmission, the stage was slightly different than shown here. It was in the middle of the guitar serenade. Part of the stage was raised. Prosecutor Gavin and Leomar stand-in were in the air. They were only on a tower which happened to be 15 feet tall. In other words, the remote could have not worked for Leomar's position in that air vent. Ah! Well, Detective Season, what do you have to say to that? Your Honor? Yes, Detective? Could we see the video where Gavin's guitar burns? Just one more time. Well, I don't see why not. But what? Don't tell me he has a way out of this. Too bad. So sad. Darian? Right, it's what you heard. We're musicians after all. Care to explain for us non-musicians? Sure thing, punk. Let me get your yarn started first. You're saying that I ordered the Wii pianist to set off that igniter? That's right. Yes. Well, in order to do that, he would have to press a switch. Am I right? Okay. Well, take another listen. Pay attention to the piano. Piano? What seems to be the problem there? The piano sounded just fine. And that's the problem, man! You still don't get it. Yeah, how's he supposed to hit that switch if he's playing? You got Miss Diva, the guitar, the bass, the piano, and the drums. The only one with her hands free was the Diva. Play more. But according to you, she couldn't have been the accomplice, could she? Urgh. Your accomplice would have had a hard time helping out if they couldn't even press a switch. Ugh! But we found the switch in the piano, though. But Trissy is having a hard time playing those notes when... What if you rigged the piano? At some point. Couldn't have pressed that switch. Well, Mr. Justice, the piano does seem to be playing when the guitar catches fire. But, well, it's okay. We all make mistakes sometimes. Apollo, were you wrong? I can't be wrong. Everything makes perfect sense. How could it all be just... strange? What's strange? No, it's just... something's odd about the performance there. Odd? Do we need to bust out the mixing board again, Gavin? Mr. Justice, if Machi Tabaya didn't press that switch, then he could not be the accomplice you claim he is. But everything points to it. Every fact says he's the accomplice. You got the facts wrong, man. Here's some facts for you. Gavin's guitar is on fire, but the pianist didn't press that switch. In other words, your story is full of holes. Mr. Justice, let's hear your final opinion on this matter. Was the defendant Machi Tobias the accomplice? Your answer will reflect everything you said here. Give it some salt. Apollo, if Machi's not the accomplice, then our whole case is ruined. I know that. It has to be him. He's the only one who could have helped the smuggler. He had to press that switch. Well, you better find a way to prove it. Ugh! What do I do? Ah! There has to be something that doesn't fit. Something odd. Wait a second. What? You thought of something? What was Gavin just saying now? Strange. What's strange? No, it's just... something's odd about the performance there. Not much to go on, but it's all I got. What exactly did he hear was odd? Have you come up with something, Mr. Justice? May I remind you that everything rests on... Can you prove that Machi Tobias pressed that switch? Let's hear your final answer. Can you prove that Machi Tobias pressed the switch? I can't prove it! Because it's the prosecution who can! I can't prove it. But I can prove it was possible. Then, as a prosecutor, it falls to me to ask you to show us this evidence according to this. Her forehead, you're sure about this? Ha! Accept it. There's no evidence, man. Let's see your evidence, Mr. Justice. On the basis that you claim the defensive Princess Switch. I don't know what I'm hearing, though. But sure. The basis for my claim is music, Your Honor. Music? What about music? Let's listen to the piano part again. Well, around the time when the switch was to be pressed. Right before the guitar burst into flames. I hear a piano being played, but it doesn't it sound kind of simple? Simple. He was playing with one hand and then pressed the switch with the other! Duh! You can play piano one-handed. I know that. I never played piano, actually. I sing, okay? And play the handbells. I think I know what he's suggesting. You think Bachi could have played that part with one hand? One hand? You only needed one hand to press that switch. You could have played the piano with the other. Ha! What, so you're some kind of piano savant? Actually, no. Then what do you know? You can't play a part like that with one hand. Ugh. Maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about here. Wait, I know. Hey, Tristy. Yeah? You got something? That's right. Your father. He's a pianist. Could he... Oh, Daddy? Yeah, right! Phoenix is a pianist! That's a good one, Apollo! That's a really good one. That's a really good one, Apollo. Oh, Phoenix, right, a pianist. That's a good one. He couldn't play a part just like that, even if he had 3 hands. So sorry. So sad for you. No, not really. Huh? That was just the easy way to prove it. It's always the hard way. Man, how are you gonna prove that whether you played it with one hand or 2? You can't! I admit, it will be rather difficult to prove, but it's highly likely that he was playing the piano with one hand. How do you know that? The clue is what Prosecutor Garvin described as sounding odd. What sounded odd? I bet we can tell by listening to a certain part of the song. No. No way! Well, it seems we have come to the moment of truth at last. Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say for himself. Show us the part that proves the defendant was playing with one hand. Right before the guitar burst into flames. Monty was definitely playing one hand just before the guitar caught on fire. And one section of the song proves it. This section, right? That's the section. I'm afraid I don't hear it. What's your opinion as an artist, Prosecutor Gavin? It's a beautiful song. And the lyrics are outstanding. I'll take that to mean there isn't a problem with that section at all. Wait, so what's the switch was pressed in the first half of the second verse, right? I know, I just need to find that place to compare that. Your Honor, if you give me one more chance, I'll think I can find it. I suppose we don't have a choice. Very well. You claim the defendant was playing with one hand when the switch was pressed. Show us the part that proves it. He was definitely playing one-handed just before the guitar caught on fire. One section of that song can prove it. Prosecutor Gavin, I'm sure you realize by now. just what it is that sounded odd to you. As I'm sure you have realized it yourself for her forehead. Realized what? I'll demonstrate. Let's listen to the part in question again, shall we? Pay particular attention to but a fleeting melody phrase. Man. How many times do we have to listen to the same thing? You're right. Enough of that. Let's listen to another section, shall we? Another section? The guitar bursts into flame at the end of the second verse. Let's listen to the same spot in the first verse. Pay attention to the oh that night you're in your embrace. Ah, but play verse 2 again. There, did you hear that? They feel the same truth, but they are clearly very different. What? Well put, Your Honor. The phrase in verse 2 is quite simple, but the same phrase in verse 1 has high and low notes. You have to use 2 hands to play that for sure. Ah. Ha! What's that proof? I would think you know by now. This is why I hate dealing with amateurs, man. So the 2 verses had different arrangements. Happens all the time. Not this time, Darian. There's no point in changing arrangements if you can't hear it clearly. And that wasn't the point. I had him play specifically so that the piano would stay in the background. Oh. That's why I noticed. That's what I noticed. Why should the same phrase be slightly different, I asked myself. Now that you ask yourself why Machi changed how he played, there can only be one answer. He needed a free hand in order to press the switch. Yeah! Order! I believe this ties all the facts together. Well, Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, quite. Though, personally, this comes as a terrible disappointment. What? No comeback? I can't believe it. I finally did it! I shut him up. Nice! That smug look on Apollo's face. I love it. Very well. Bearing an objection from the prosecution, I will now state the court's opinion on the matter. Good show, Sleeves. No, great show. Ah, so we're back up to Sleeves. Great, cool. It's not over? I don't like it when he looks so happy. You tell him, Gavin. Tell him what's so disappointing. Personally, I'm not terribly disappointed. In you, furhead. Huh? Me? Yes. Don't get me wrong. Your case is solid. The facts all check out. But even now, you have yet to show us a single piece of decisive evidence. Yeah, but the facts. Anyone can see it was him. Unfortunately, anyone doesn't include the law. I'm afraid your case doesn't cut it. But 1,000 facts might point towards the same conclusion. But without decisive evidence, it's not proof. The rule under our current legal system, I don't believe it! It does not seem as though the defense has any more evidence to present. Oh, I think if you did, you already have seen it a long way back. It's unfortunate. But at the present, the court is unable to acknowledge your accusation. What? What?! The truth is staring all of us right in the face. Why can't they see it? What's the point of a legal system that protects criminals? Apollo, remember what Daddy said. It won't be easy proving that he did it, especially not under the current court system. What do I do? Like I said, good luck. And if you were that, it would be impossible to prove his work skills by conventional methods. Ugh. Every man has an igniter inside him. Find Darian Caesar's igniter and set it off. I wonder what he meant by every man's igniter. I think he just meant a weak spot, no? The kind of thing that a single spark could turn up a wildfire of emotion. I won't be able to press him further by conventional means. I gotta find a weak spot in this guy. Something fatal. So can I get back to work now or what? Man, it may look like I got a lot of time on my hands, but I got no more time to play pretend with this deadweight attorney. Well, Mr. Justice, we come this far without decisive evidence. This witness won't be coming back to the stand once we let him go. Every man has an igniter. Huh? Didn't you say the better the guitar? The better the guitar, the brighter it burns, Prosecutor Gavin? Ah, yes. Good guitars that are kept dry is why. That produces the best sound. Even a small spark could cause irreparable damage. Your plan has an igniter in it too, Detective. It was there from the very beginning. What? Fighting time, Justice. If you blow this one, you'll be out of your hands for good. Go for it, Apollo. What, is this igniter supposed to come up and burn me? That's almost poetic there, Mr. Attorney. Ah, we've been upgraded again. All the better. I'm rather very fond of poetry. I intend to hear this one through to the very end. Your forehead. Are you accusing this man, Darian Caesar, of 2 crimes? The murder of Mr. Letowski and the smuggling of a Bulgarian cocoon? This is your last chance to prove your case. This trial has already run far too long. Mr. Justice, this will be my last warning. The moment this igniter of yours turns out to be a dud, is the moment this cross-examination ends. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. Then let's have it. Show us the basis for the exact accusations against the Darian Caesar. Okay, this is really my last chance. The key to that whole plan is... Let me look at the court records. Wait! Hold on! I know exactly what to do! Call a witness! Let's get Monty up on the stand! Your igniter isn't a piece of evidence. Huh? So what is? The truth is, I couldn't show decisive evidence. But perhaps what I needed to do was to prove my case was something else. You mean a witness? Proving his guilt is a tall order. But I got just the person to do it. Very well, Mr. Justice. Who is this person who can prove Darian Caesar's guilt? My client! The one person who can prove Darian Caesar's guilt is the defendant, Machi Tabayai. Your client? Again? Machi Tabayai was an accomplice to the cocoon smuggling plot. Without him, Darian Caesar could not have gotten the cocoon. Furthermore, he could easily proven that he was the one who plotted to smuggle the cocoon. It's the real criminal in this case. How so? It would require just one It would require just one of the very cocoons Mr. Tass was looking for. With the cooperation of the Republic of Bulgaria, we could burn a cocoon. The burnt cocoon would leave a particular residue. A residue we would no doubt also find inside the burnt out guitar. Ah, very scientific of you. I think we've been spending too much time with them, huh? Thus, Machi Tabaya acknowledges his agreement with the Darian Caesar, considering the attempted smuggling of a Bulgarian cocoon. The case is solved. Darian's laughing again. Your unrelying passion is remarkable. You really want to get me, don't you? Too bad you'll never be able to. Why not? Look, the key taker won't acknowledge anything, especially not anything to do with cocoon smuggling. What's this all about? Ooh. Oh. I don't know why taking a cocoon out of the country means death by Bulgarian law. Yeah, sometimes the VTuber studio freezes like that. I'm like, what? Ah, yeah, see? If our pianist really was a smuggler, then testifying about it would be suicide. Believe me, he's not talking. But you're wrong, Detective Season. What? It's the other way around. If Machi doesn't admit to smuggling here, he's in deep trouble. Huh? How? Look, if Machi admits to smuggling here, then he'll be tried in our courts by our law. If you don't get the death penalty for smuggling in our country. Ah, the victim in this case was an undercover Interpol agent. I'm sure that news has already reached Bulgaria, and they'll likely broadcast our dealings in court today, including the part about the Bulgarian cocoon. Yeah, but! But if Machi doesn't admit to smuggling now, he'll eventually be picked up by Bulgarian police, and it's not like he's in any danger in our court. We're not going to find him guilty of murder here. Not now. Yeah, but you can't do this. You can't accuse me! I've been doing this for like the past hour. Maybe the law doesn't allow it. But who's going to think you're really innocent after hearing this trial? The same goes for Machi Tabayai. Duck! The cocoon smuggling your entire plan. Machi Tabaya knows everything. There's only one way out of it for him, and that's to acknowledge his own crime. The crime of cocoon smuggling. Don't worry there. I'll get you out of this country. I'll set you up someplace. A hidden mansion. Real nice. You want a house made of cookies? No, a house made out of pianos? Come on. Please! We did it! We got him to acknowledge his crime. Darian, I considered that my last session with you. We rocked. I'm guessing we can treat that out first as confession? Uh-oh, he's laughing again. There's a kind of desperation in it now, though. Well, have you been listening to today's trial? Yes. And you will talk. You will tell the court everything. I didn't want it to turn out this way, but I'm not the kind of lawyer that can overlook a crime. Today's trial is all for your benefit, you know. I see no reason you should hesitate now. I knew from beginning. I knew. Machi. Situation I cannot explain, but money I needed. Very much money. Today's trial raises a delicate issue with our legal system. The only thing definite in our court law is evidence. This is the golden rule. However, it has become apparent that not all things can be tried by the standard. Should another case of this sort surface, we may have to consider an alternate system by which to administer justice. Anyways, Mr. Machi Tabaya. Yes, I promise that you will receive a fair trial by the laws of our country. And with regards to the current charges for the murder of Mr. Lotau, this court prepared to announce the verdict. I thank you. I only lie, but you see truth. You find truth. That is our job. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Machi Tabaya. Oh, the judge said his name right. Kurt, yay! Not guilty though! Woo! Quick, let me pull up Genshin! Because I do have dealers, so. Right. Court is adjourned. July 10th, 4:42 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. I wonder what will happen to Machi. Well, he did smuggle a cocoon out of Bulgaria. I guess there'll be another trial here. All well ends that ends well. Teddy! I owe you both my thanks. Say more. My, is something wrong? I'm sorry. Machi was your partner on stage, your friend. Yes. Though I thought of him as my own son. Even now I do. Yet, something's got a hold of him. Something evil. See that? He must pay for what he has done. Is that not how it should be? I'm so sorry. Do not be sorry. You have given me courage. Courage? I am considering an eye operation. That was my suggestion, actually. You mean you'll be able to see again? It's funny. I've always been afraid of the light. Light seems so harsh, so unforgiving. According to the doctor, Leomore lost her sight due to some kind of accident. An accident? As you know, I suffer from amnesia. I fear that if I could see, perhaps it would open my eyes to the truth that I've been running from. I was scared. You know what changed her mind? Hearing your defense in there today. You could feel your gaze, unwavering, always looking straight at the truth. If the light returns to my eyes, I think I will take up painting. Painting? That's right! She's the landscape painter in sound, after all. I will paint the two of you, I promise. Woohoo! I can't wait, Leomore! I owe you my thanks too, Apollo. Thanks is right, but for what? You reminded me I need to hurry things along. On my secret mission, that is. Right, your secret mission. Apollo, seriously, I hope that we'll meet again someday soon. You bet, me too! And so, like a ballad, the trial flowed on until it came to an end. Thanks to the trial, the guitar serenade was a huge hit. Prosecutor Gavin even more dazing to look at it now. But there's something I want to say to that guy. Next time you write a ballad, have them catch the killer at the end. And that's the end of Turnabout Serenade. Achievement! That means new save file. Fuck, that was... Oh, it is a new save file. Back! Return to game menus. Oh, now we have to change the menu music again. I feel like since Phoenix was in that episode, I can justify doing, like... Or we could just go back to a victory for us. We'll do that for the end of every episode. Except for the next one. We'll just have it be the... Okay, so... But... Title screen has the best music. So we switched to it. So yeah, that's the end of Turnabout Serenade. And at this point... well... At this point, we got some... I'll be back. Probably not this weekend at any point, but we'll be back on Tuesday for the start of Turnabout Succession, which I'm very excited for, honestly. Okay, I'll have to exit the game. I mean, it doesn't matter too much anyways. Anyone in whom we can raid? Well, the obvious answer is, well, who else is streaming the game? Actually, I don't. Let's just not raid. Good night.